everybody, and welcome to another live stream. Today, we're going to be taking a break from the comic, and we're going to be doing some animation. Not for any particular project, just purely because I miss it, and I really wanted to do some animation without, the pressure of it being right for a project or part of a big project. I really just missed it and wanted to come back and do some quick, dirty, kind of fun animation. Almost as an experiment too, to see actually if I really rush things and try and get sort of my efficiency up, does it end up being really, really low quality, really bad looking, or is it kind of usable in certain places? I think it'd be a fun experiment. So earlier today, I just played around with this. It took me about 30 minutes. Very, very quick, sloppy little animation of Killgar just going very post to post. As you can see, there's like very, very few drawings, and the drawings that are there they're not good. They're not good. That's not a good Killgar face. That's not good. But you know what, man? Especially the hands. If you look at some of the hands here, like some of these are bad. But in motion as part of a bigger story, stuff like that is really excusable. And I actually think I have a problem. I have some hang-ups with doing stuff that kind of feels low quality and rushed, because I always think it's going to be under the microscope, and really scrutinized. And the fact is, if you're telling a big story on an independent cartoon, if it's part of like many sequences or many scenes, people don't mind the quality being a bit rushed in places. And I thought today we could just improvise, and I could take fan suggestions and viewer suggestions, and we could just make something funky and fun for the sake of it, for the fun of it. But anyway, let me say hello to our viewers, the chat. Hello Davy88, hello Hardly Harry, Wacom Sock'em, Beanlight Games, Keith Rousel, Elite Energy, Shu Charu, Rob L, Harry Ashfield, Dylan Royer, Joel Mayer, Michael Graham, Shark Alien, Caspian YouTube or Caspian YT, The Magma Muncher, and Arcade. Hello everybody. Yes, so this is going to be a real kind of low importance, fun, silly little stream. I was going to draw viewer requests today, which I thought about doing, but I wanted to draw Killgar. I don't know why. I mean, I've been drawing him all week on the damn comic, but I kind of missed animating him, and I thought I was just doodling this little dumb thing of him here, going from like looking, down to kind of reacting by going into thinking. It's really very cheap looking animation. It's very post to pose, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of take some viewer influence and see if we can make a mini cartoon from scratch, because I don't know what's going to happen, and I think we could just animate a couple of shots of Killgar doing stuff. Maybe it could make some kind of narrative sense. So if you have any ideas, give them to me, feed them to me. What is Killgar going to be doing here? He's thinking about something, but that could kind of contextually be, in any kind of scene. We could put that later or put that first. We could move him around so we could introduce like another character. I don't want to draw Hogstrong. Drawing Hogstrong is a friggin' drag. He moves kind of slow. Killgar is more, he's more choppy in the way that he moves, so he's more fun to animate. And we're going to make some bad animation together. So, guys, if you use the tip link in the description, I've turned off super chats temporarily. I will definitely see your suggestions, and I'll try more so to favor those ones, because that would be fair. But otherwise, I will just take regular suggestions from the regular chat. So what do you want to see happen, folks? We've got this little boom bounce here that I animated in about 30 minutes. This very low quality drawing was drawn. I tried to warm up. I thought, can I draw Killgar without sketching and literally just going like, I didn't even allow myself to hit undo. Just literally like doing this kind of thing. Okay, I don't even know what the rest of the body is doing. Just doing that sort of thing. So that's why this, anyway, let's get rid of this. This is unimportant. That was just a little warm up. So we have him here going like that. So what's gonna come next? Let me see. Michael Graham says the comics look to be coming along great. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, hopefully there'll be an announcement about that soon. Terranium says, I am here. Hello, Terranium. We're collaborating today on a low quality Killgar animation, all done from scratch, and I'm taking some suggestions. Hello, Florian. Hey, Harry, you the voice of Killgar, says Dylan. Yes, I am. Yeah, I voice most of the characters in my cartoons, most of the males anyway. Although in Dr. Beat's cartoons, I'll voice the females too. I'm not above that. Elite Energy says, I love the sound of this, Harry. Well, thank you. Hey, Sam Rama. Hello. Michael Graham says, thinking of ridiculous made-up weapons, perhaps. We could give him a made-up weapon. That's a good idea. Thought bubbles from above his head, says Shark Alien. I don't know if I want to do any... thought bubble could be fun, but I want to animate a character, you know. I don't want to draw too much sort of transitional stuff or framing stuff. I'm going to be really picky with the ideas, everyone. So, hey, Swamp Waffles said, I want him to punch Peppino from Pizza Tower. Yeah, but I'm a 98-year-old grandma boomer. I don't know what that is. I've heard of Pizza Tower, but I don't think I want to draw it. I see it's like a chef, like an Italian chef. Mr. Matemation said, howdy. Hey, Mr. Matemation, how you doing? Devi88 says, Killgar posing like a Sailor Moon with a tiara. Yeah, but it has to make sense, all right? We're going to try and come up with some kind of actual thing that's going to happen with, you know, a flow of some kind. So if you can think of a reason for why he's doing it, we could maybe do that. Keith says, you could do one of those acting tests they do at Disney, like how would he sit and drink a beer? I could do that, Keith, but I'm not a real animator. I'm a hack fraud, and I just want to draw. I don't really want to have to think too much about acting. I want to do big, broad pantomime acting where he's thinking by going, like that, you know, real broad stuff. Geranium says, Killgar thinks about if Hogstrong would have sex with a human. Geranium, get that degenerate filth out of here. All right, well, let me see now. Let me see. So he's thinking. I'm going to have him come to a conclusion. That's going to be important because no matter what happens, if he comes to a conclusion, that'll help. So, coming to a conclusion, you kind of want this sort of thing. Like this, okay? He's like, aha! And they got the finger up like that, okay? So we're going to do this kind of thing. So he could have a pose like that. We could cut this, of course, if my team of editors and directors, by way of the chat, don't like this. I just figure if he's thinking, he's going to have to eventually come to an actual conclusion. And his feet are going to go together, which would actually make him taller. If you put your feet together, you tend to be a little bit taller. Which becomes a problem because he's already maximizing kind of the headspace here. So that's a staging issue if we introduce that. So something like that seems just about can get away with it, but I can't have the feet so tight together. Don't know why I'm drawing this squiggle down here. So something like that, maybe. It might be a bit big. We could probably shrink him down just a touch. So what I'm going to do... Oh, I didn't realize I'm drawing in a skewed thingy here. What do you call it? The graphic is all skewed. But I don't want to unskew it because I think the first part looks pretty good. So he's coming to a conclusion. Do we want to include... Let me see. What other ideas are people suggesting? Terranium says you didn't finish reading it. Yeah, but you already introduced sex. I don't think I want anything sexy, Terranium. If you want sexy, watch someone else's cartoons. Go and watch a Yukino Joe cartoon. Killgar is doing math and is trying to solve what is 5 times 6. Beanlight says, what are those big cartoon meats on a stick? Is it a piece of ham? I don't know. I mean, it could be anything, right? It could be chicken, it could be ham. John Mayer says he's pulling out his sword, being all intimidating, and then the sword retracts like a Swiss Army knife and a tiny toothpick pops out instead. I mean, that's like too many ideas. This might not work. I've got to just animate something. Let me just animate him coming to a conclusion, and we'll see if there's anything. VJ Chester says, are you excited for any MCU projects? No. No. I haven't enjoyed the MCU since... when was the last one I liked? It's probably the one where they all die. It's probably that one. Let's have his legs go further apart, like that. Alright, so I'm just going to create a very loose sort of tie-down frame from this. Not really a real tie-down. Something sort of gets the job done. Let's make it a little bit bigger here and have him kind of just all happy. And then we can figure out why he's actually happy and what he's happy about. He's going to have a big happy mouth. That great big pointy chin. It's always a struggle getting the eyebrows in because he has this little diamond headpiece thing here, but it's kind of crowds the eyebrows. All right. So he's got the great big puffy arms like that. And we're gonna give him a tight little curled up fist, kind of like giving him tiny little curled up arms. And he's got his fur and his spikes like that. Alrighty, so remember folks, if you're just joining us today, we're doing a kind of improvised low quality little animation here of Killgar just for fun, and I will take viewer suggestions, although I am going to prioritize any viewer suggestions that come through the Streamlabs tip link in the description, just because that is fair. And give him a big, let's make that finger even bigger. He's like really making a point, so he's going aha like that. Okay, and then here's what I always have to do. I always have to flip my drawings because I'm sure this is going to look terrible. Yeah, it's a bit terrible. I need to skew it, basically. I think that looks a bit better. I feel like this arm is way too big over here, so move that in there. Thank God for digital art. If I couldn't correct everything as I go... Oh, now see, that looks too skewed now the other way. Haha, it's really hard. It's really hard to strike a balance when I'm drawing. Ha! Needs to go forward a bit. Ha! This is us trying to do very quick animation that isn't sort of too concerned with little things like drawing and details. Alright, I think those legs need to be redesigned a bit. Maybe kick one leg out. I don't know. It'll make sense maybe at the cleanup stage. Aha! Ah! And probably what I'd want to do for that, to go from this tall, from this sort of thinking position to this kind of eureka type expression, probably have him go down so he can pop back up. He's already done that once though. He goes down and then comes up. So maybe I'll have him sort of look over here. So he goes, aha! And what we could do is we could have his arm come out really big. Trust me, this will look okay in motion, I think. And the legs go down. So we can move his whole body down. Okay, so it's like boom, like that. So basically you get that snap, which we'll put on a lower frame rate there. So he goes, ha-ha! All right, you get the idea with the timing like that. Sorry, that took a little while, but this will take a while. I mean, even trying to do low quality animation, it always takes just a long time. Jacob Tucker says, what is this impromptu cartoon about, if you're able to indulge? You are the guys that are going to decide that for me. I'm only going to take ideas from the chat or from the tip link through Streamlabs. So yeah, I'm looking for you guys to give me some inspiration. This is purely just a bit of fun, really. It's just me, something that I'd like to do, to take a break from drawing the comic and doing other stuff, really. I wanted to do some animation that didn't have to look really nice, because it's tough, you know, it gets to you after a while. Beanlight says, Killgar invents a new weapon by combining an axe and leg meat. I mean, we could give him meat. That might be funny. Dylan asks, is Andy Partridge my dad? That is my dad's name, yes. Shark Alien says, I second the meat axe idea. The meat axe idea? Wait, Dylan says, is he your dad? And who is he? Why did you ask then? Geranium says, I have to go to a meeting, so I'll catch the rest of the stream later. Thank you, thank you, Geranium, for coming by. Don't worry about that. Catch you later. All right. So let me clean this up a little. Aha! Grr. So I'm gonna make this just. This kind of does need a bit more of a cleanup on this frame here. This is very sloppy. Although we are kind of experimenting a little bit with being sloppy right now. Having some sloppy fun. I should have my soundboard on with the sloppy clip. So something like that. You can kind of... You get the idea. I've drawn Killgar so many times. He is fun and easy to draw. Typically with animated projects is I only get good and sort of efficient at drawing the characters by the end of the project. There is one upside to having an ongoing web series that never ever gets finished or goes anywhere, is that it's technically never cancelled or never over. So it's always valid for me on some level to be able to draw the characters. Alright, so I have the cape billowing out because he's going down like that. Have the arm come out with the hand really dragging there. Just sort of imply the hand with a little squiggle is fine. And have it come out. So, okay, so there we go. That's our down position for Killgar. Just seeing if there's any ideas I can incorporate from the chat. Hey, Comic Tropes, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing better, Chris. My good buddy Chris, I animated the intro for his great show Comic Tropes. Go check that out if you're into comics. Chris says, on my way to work and saw someone special was live, but unfortunately you clicked on my video instead. Good to see you, Chris. J Rich Animation says, hey Harry, maybe Killgar has the idea of making a sandwich and places a full cow or pig in between two slices of bread. I think it's high time I actually incorporated one of those ideas. So J Rich, I'm gonna do it. I didn't want to draw Hogstrong. It would be funny to put Hogstrong in a sandwich. That's maybe gonna be too much effort. I'm gonna take your idea and put a pig in a sandwich and have Killgar do that. Okay, that's gonna be the next thing that we do. All right. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to have Killgar go down like this. Like this. And he's going to reach out of frame for the pig in question. And the reason I'm doing a pig is because that seems like a little bit less drawing for me. Just a little bit less drawing. Drawing a pig seems like less effort. Here. So you can see, I have a lot of cleanup to do. Okay, so he's gonna get his pig, and then I tell you what, actually, it's gonna be a little bit too much to have him put the pig in the sandwich. So let me see if I can alter that a little bit. Maybe have him bring out just a pig. But I do have a Streamlabs support chat. I don't know what I'm calling it. Streamlabs support chat tip thing from Harry Ashfield. So let me read that out really quickly. Harry Ashfield with the $5 super chat says, Killgar becomes self-aware he is a cartoon character currently being animated. Oh, Harry, I'm not sure I can do that. That's a very abstract concept. I mean, I could do something. He could realize something. If you have any non-impossible ideas, I could try and incorporate those, but that's a good idea. Let me see. All right, so he goes down. Let's have him bring out a pig. In fact, I'm gonna use this as a reference here and have him like bringing something out, just so I can kind of reference this other drawing so the proportions stay consistent. Guys, if you ever have trouble when you're animating and keeping things in proportion, try to reference one drawing that you like, one keyframe, and don't reference your most recent drawing, because that way you kind of get into trouble. Alright, so he's going to be holding a pig. I'm not sure about the sandwich thing. I think we'll just keep it as a sad, fat pig, basically. What do pigs look like? Kind of like that, right? Okay, so if we move this over here, we could have him pull out the pig. Oh no, we have another super chat. See, this is what I was hoping for and also worried about, is that the super chats would start to clash and collide, and I sort of have trouble in creating this cartoon in a way that I can actually keep track of where things are going. 7 Angry Chihuahuas donated $10. Thank you very much, 7 Angry Chihuahuas, and said a fun way to incorporate Hogstrong without animating him is to have the camera pan to him after Killgar takes a bite to show a horrified reaction. Great idea. Okay, so for 7 Angry Chihuahuas, we're going to incorporate Hogstrong in some way, but it may be just a reaction, and we can do that with a pan, which is very doable, seeing as it's not a ton of animation. So thank you for the super chat, 7 Angry Chihuahuas, but we can still do something here with the eating. I need to start cleaning up some drawings. So this is, please pause the super chats for the time being, because I'm getting worried I'm not going to be able to do all this in a 2 or 3 hour live stream. So let me see now. So this is Hogstrong, which is this fucking guy. Killgar, he thinks. He goes down because he's going down. That's his whole thing he likes to do. He likes to go down. And we're going to just try to really quickly, we're going to clean this up, but it's going to be cleaned up in a way that you'd never accept from a person that you'd hired to do cleanup. It's going to be extremely low quality cleanup. All right, so let's just go with that. Okay, and in terms of frame rate today, ladies and gents, there's going to be an extremely poor frame rate of something like maybe animating on 2s, probably animating on 3s or 4s, or even something lower than that. That's a little bit sort of insider baseball when it comes to animation talk, animating on 2s versus 3s versus 4s, but it basically means how long each drawing is held for: 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, etc. And if I hold a drawing for longer than, I think, 3 frames, it really starts to look very choppy, more like an animatic than an actual animation. The animatic is the sort of the planning stage, like basically a timed out animated storyboard. So trying to very quickly get some cleanup going on this frame of him going. I'll tell you what, actually, guys, I should just cut him having an idea, because this whole extra step of him going aha is going to take some effort. But if we stick with very few drawings, I think we can make it work. What are people saying in the chat? Hey, Kimi Omega. Hey, Draco Dragonis. Who else have I missed? Hey, Sam Gay. Did I say hello to Sam? Hello, Nick NIR. I don't know how I say that. It seems like a dangerous name for me to say out loud. Your strokes are very expressive. I study for years to improve my animations. Well, thank you, Nick. I don't know if I have impressive strokes or not, but appreciate the compliment. I mean, these are wretched. Look at these. Look at these bad boys coming out today. But thank you, man. Hey, Donny Arts. Let me just have a swig of my drink, guys. Okay. BJ Chester asks, what is your inspiration for Killgar's design? He's just supposed to look like a heavy metal barbarian, basically. Kind of, there's a band called Sieg Sputnik, which I'll write on the side here. Like that. Sieg Sputnik. They look a bit like Killgar, but also lots of sort of 80s hair metal bands. But actually, I can say that the main inspiration, some people say he looks like Mother Brain, and he does look like Mother Brain from the Captain N show, although I don't really think I'd ever seen the Captain N show before I drew Killgar. I think it's just coincidental. He also looks a little bit like Mock from what's it called? Rock and Roll, which is an 80s animated movie. It's very good. But honestly, the main thing was the Ginyu Force, which I know he doesn't really look like any member of the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force are kind of like minor bad guys from Dragon Ball Z, but he definitely, that's why sort of him and Hogstrong have a kind of a uniform with big shoulders, because that's definitely a thing that the Ginyu Force have. They have these big pointed shoulder pads, and they kind of all wear the same thing. So that's why I wanted to have a team of basically bad guys that all wore the same thing, and that's why Killgar and Hogstrong more or less have the same outfit, although there are some minor differences. And over the years of me doing not enough in terms of animation, only a few little shorts, I kind of reached the conclusion that they're not entirely bad guys. They're just, you know, they're ne'er-do-wells, but Hogstrong would like to do better. He's lumbered with Killgar, who is an asshole, basically. So that was where that kind of idea came from. So if you're just joining the stream today and you're wondering why is Harry drawing a very poor quality looking Killgar, it's because we're trying to have fun here, doing a little Killgar cartoon from scratch and taking viewer suggestions, although I'm already sensing that this is not an experiment which is going to go my way, because it's taking more time just to do this extremely limited cleanup than probably people are going to want to stick around and watch. The idea is that he goes down and then up. So maybe we'll have to cut out some of the in-betweens, really. It's just going to have to be straightforward, pose to pose, very, very kind of animatic-y style animation. And the next sequence is Killgar pulling a pig out from under him. And it was originally going to be a part of a sandwich, but I might lay it back to the audience and see what they think should happen to the pig. Please, nothing sexual. maybe he just, I don't know, marries the pig or something. There's no sex in marriage. Oh, that face is terrible. That's a nightmarish face right there. Oh boy. Alright, folks, I'm going to turn my air conditioner on because it's, I need it. It's getting warm in here. Hey, Aya of Hamri. How you doing? Just noticed you're live. Yes, Aya, we're not really doing much in the way of high quality animation today or anything that probably you'd want to watch. I'm just having some fun kind of doing a free-form, improvised little bit of Killgar animation and sourcing ideas for what should happen next from the audience. Oh boy. So we're trying to go really quickly here, hence why the quality is a little bit bad. Folks, I've just turned my air conditioner on, so if it's if you can't hear me or it sounds bad, let me know and I'll just try and cool off another way, but I kind of want the air conditioner on for now. Hey Tyler, hey Davey Kirkham, hello Ashos. Keith Rousel says, much respect, Harry. I wish I had the brain power to do live streams and animate at the same time. Well, hey, Keith, man, I appreciate it, but I wouldn't look at this animation and, you know, most people wouldn't think too much of it. We're doing really bare bones stuff here. That's kind of... I thought that would be more fun to do sort of a bit of communal animation and take some ideas. Although I'm starting to think with how long the cleanup is taking, that it probably is going to be more like an animatic rather than animation, but I appreciate that, Keith. Alright, let's get these. Get this chest in real good like that. Da-da-da-da, like that. Put that furry collar in. Okay, so what are we doing here with the metal underwear? Something along those lines. Problem is, I thought this would be watchable. That's my folly. I was hoping that at the end of this we'd actually have something that looked kind of good, sort of almost good enough that maybe it could go in an episode and no one would notice. I was thinking that might be a fun experiment to see. Oh, if I really went hard, could I animate something that looked acceptable for a cartoon? And I'm looking at this now, and I feel it really won't. Okay. So let's just put this hand in here, tighten all those fingers up. There we go. That's a acceptable looking rushed hand. And then tighten that arm up. It's what would actually make a lot more sense is if we picked a character that wasn't anything like Killgar and covered in details. And that would be probably a lot more productive. Actually would get stuff done. But I do like drawing Killgar kind of because of all the stuff on him. I think he's sort of a rare design for a character because he's so cluttered, but it makes him very inefficient. So we've got him thinking, we're going down and then going up. We'll color those eyes in. I think it helps to kind of bring everything together when you've got a little bit of a focal point around the eyebrows and the eyes with a little bit of black fill there. I'm messing that up terribly. Ha! Alright, what are people saying in the chat? J Rich Animation says maybe instead he places the pig on his head and thinks it would make a nice hat. Also, I love your work, Harry. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, man, that's actually that's a good idea, him putting a pig on his head. Well, that's the kind of thing I would do. Can you make the next episode of Starbarians when they fight the evil horn men? Says Dylan. Yeah, Dylan, I would like to. It's easier said than done. It's on the cards, trust me. Mr. Animation says there's no sex in Starbarians either. That's the next big twist. Killgar's actually a virgin, and he's super insecure about it. Oh boy. Oh, I'm knocking things over here. Nothing got spilled. That was an empty glass. Harry Ashfield says, just nice to see you animate again, if only briefly. Yeah, honestly, I haven't stopped animating. I keep doing it for fun. I realize I really like it, actually. That's the reality is I do enjoy it greatly. So I'm not going to be able to give it up. It's just a matter of, when I do it again, not if. Although I do actually have some stuff I've been working on. I just haven't shown people yet. An update. Let me see. The Bad Cow Bunch says howdy. Hello, Bad Cow Bunch. Hello, Joseph Blay. Joseph says, yes, I finally made it to a live stream. I've been starting animation myself, and your work's inspiring. Thank you, Joseph. Good to hear it, man, and good to hear you're beginning your animation journey. Hey, Inkcap. Inkcap says, keep going. You rule at animation. Appreciate it, Inkcap. Well, today this stuff is not ruling. So if you take a look, we can flip this bad boy around. Which is, I always recommend that. I recommend that to any artist. If you're working digitally, or even if you're working, analog, you can grab a mirror or something. Always look at your drawings flipped. It'll help you see the problems. So I've seen these drawings. Oh, I hadn't seen this boy flipped. Yo, he is, he's rough. This arm over here is kind of a problem, but this one's not too bad. His eyes are kind of like wacky, but he's okay. I think it's sort of funny that his pupils are so big. Typically, Killgar should have small pupils, but kind of like this one.
Guy, that's a great idea.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Samarama with a super chat. He says, can you make the pig Spider Pig? Oh, Samarama. I don't know if I want to draw a Spider-Man character in this, but we could make it a pig-spider hybrid for you. If that is something your heart desires, I'll see if I can do that for you. All right, so let's have him go down here. Appreciate the super chat, Samarama, through the tip link. Currently, Google is not going to be getting any ad revenue from this stream. It's all going to me via Streamlabs. So that's why I've opted for that temporarily to use the Streamlabs service, because they don't take the cut that Google does. Okay, so I have not tied this down. Let's see if we can do a drawing without any tie downs. This bad boy is going to look a bit rough, but I think we can just about get it done. So he's going to be looking down with one bug eye. we're going to have his mouth like that with a big tongue sticking out. I need to make my eraser smaller. Let's keep having a giant fat eraser that's making it hard. I don't want the eyes to have, you know, overlapping lines. Obviously a lot of the cleanup is going to be very rough looking, but I feel like the eyes should probably look good. Alright, so let's just quickly draw his little spiky headdress thing in. The jaw is a lot smaller than that. Should be something like that. That's better. So he's sticking his tongue out because sort of to show that he's, I don't know, he's thinking, he's up to something. He's going,
Let's see what we got here.
Okay. Stick that spike there. Oh, that's it's supposed to be like circles, these shoulder pads. It's an interesting looking circle. Just a big fat teardrop. Alright. Something like here, and then we'll have him like that. And because this hand isn't kind of doing anything, it might seem unimportant, but it's counterweight. He's sort of sticking it back because he's leaning forward. He shouldn't need to do that because he's so strong. But it sort of looks weird when you give superhuman strong characters inhuman body language. You know, Superman wouldn't need to sort of lean forward before he stands up, you know, from sitting in a chair because he's so strong. His legs would just be able to propel him upwards. But it looks weird if you wouldn't move like a human being. So they had a problem with that in The Incredibles, actually. I remember there's some tests on the DVD where they had the challenge of how do you show Mr. Incredible lifting up a boulder. You have to make the boulder look heavy while making Mr. Incredible look strong. So they're kind of sort of counter-acting each other. You know, they're counter forces. So they have to sort of struggle a little bit. You show him struggling a little tiny bit, but at the same time, the boulder is so big, the design of the boulder works. It's so big, you kind of use your rationale to figure out, well, that's going to be a heavy boulder no matter what. So it sort of worked, I think, despite the animation. But, you know, it looked almost equivalent of him lifting like a giant basketball or something. So it didn't look heavy, but it looked cumbersome, and he struggled a little tiny bit at the beginning of the motion. That's The Incredibles, obviously. This animation is not going to be good like The Incredibles. This is some rough looking stuff here. But we're just making this on the fly to relax. And let me see here. He's gonna have to. I don't know if I want the cape billowing out. It's a bit stiff if it just stays there. So I guess we'll sort of, I don't know, kind of go halfway. So something like that, maybe. So he goes, let me see here. He goes,
Hey, yeah, I have an idea. Let's see what's up on the floor.
Up on the floor. Harry Partridge, not a physics major. Basic concepts like up and down baffle me. Alright, folks, I'm just going to take a little tiny sweat break here to sweat it out. And we'll draw him, finally, with holding our prop. The first prop that we've seen in the whole cartoon. A pig with some kind of spider-like features. Because I think it was Sam Raimi, yes it was, who asked for it to be a spider pig. And I don't feel like drawing the actual Spider-Man pig character. That's going to be too many lines, too much webbing. Hey, Glass Cake, good to see you, my good buddy Glass Cake. I'm doing all right, thank you. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Delaxia. Delaxia says, I've been using symbols as scenes in anime. It makes the timeline look clean. Yeah, man, I'm all about using the symbols. The nice thing is, because unlike a lot of other programs like, let me save actually while I'm going on, Toon Boom, you can just mirror the scene with a button. You can't do that in Flash, not to my knowledge anyway. So what I do is I take the whole scene, stick it in a symbol like that. I mean, yes, he's just one character, but currently he is the whole scene. And what I actually like to do is, I'll show you, just mirror it on a separate layer. Stick him down there. Now he's mirrored. And I can always, if I want to kind of get an update of how things are looking mirrored, I can take a look. I go, oh yeah, that's how it looks mirrored. It looks like hot garbage. Actually, that came out okay, that one. These drawings, obviously, they're very compromised by the fact we're trying to go very quickly. But I think it gets the job done, that one. These are more kind of animatic drawings. They're not animation drawings, but yeah. So yeah, if it looks good horizontally flipped, it should look good, you know, the other way. It's sort of, I don't know, it's insurance, it's sort of checking up. Because sometimes it looks good to your eyes, but you've been drawing it and you sort of miss things. And then if it looks good flipped, you know you're okay. If it doesn't look good flipped, fix whatever you don't like about it. And then it tends to sort of usually look pretty good the other way. Maybe you still need to tweak a few things, but yes, flip your drawings. I've already said it 28 times on this stream. Hello, Gregor Scott! Gregor says, I'd imagine the best way is to have the object interact in a heavy way. Else, oh, talking about, yeah, making Mr. Incredible look strong while making a rock look heavy, which was a problem they had. Yeah, if Mr. Incredible drops the rock and it slams into the ground. Yeah, that's a good idea too. You make the object interact with the environment independently on itself. Samarama says, why are there 6 fingers on his hand? I don't know what you're talking about, Sam. On this hand, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What else we got? On this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's actually no thumb visible there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I drew one too many fingers. I thought I had to crowd a little bit there. Sam, I wish I could give you an answer as to why that happened. I would say incompetence, but I'd also say the stress of live streaming and having to draw at the same time under the gun. It was really more of an occupational hazard. It was a circumstantial condition that led to that error. I do apologize. Please spare me your ire. Okay, so we're going to draw the pig here. The spider pig. How do I make the pig look heavy while making Killgar look strong? One of the obvious ways is to have no in-betweens and not have to worry about that at all, because I just simply do not have any time. Hello to Just Phil. Just Phil says, hey Harry, I've been out of the loop. Is Starbarians a comic now? No, it isn't a finished comic. I have started. I'm about 1/7 of the way through a big, thick Starbarians comic, which I'm hoping drops later this year. There'll be more about that definitely when it's ready to be announced. Dylan says, hey Harry, can you make a cartoon about anthro animals? I do. It's called Starbarians. It has a pig man in it. I'm very much doing that already. Not in a deliberate pervy sense. I'm not a furry or anything like that. I just grew up watching TMNT and that kind of thing. Glasscake says, have you ever flipped the South Park characters? They look messed up. Do they really? Or are you trolling me? It's fine for your drawings to look bad. They really... Oh, aren't they completely symmetrical? Can't believe I forgot. Let me try this here. South Park. You better not be trolling me, Glasscake. South Park characters. I want a group shot. It's going to be easier. Alright, let's do this. Bam. Okay, that's all messed up because of the... Fuck. Sorry about that. Let me undo that. Let me go out into the non-skewed timeline. Okay. So that's them normally. Ding, 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 ding. And now we're going to flip them. Boop. Oh! Yeah! Okay. Okay. Cartman, I think, feels different. Or at least his hat doesn't feel... Like, his hat is not symmetrical. You can see it ends... The yellow band ends higher on that side. Maybe the head is a little bit rotated, possibly? Yeah, Cartman looks weird. And Kenny, maybe the like rim of his hood a little bit. To me, Stan... I don't think Stan and Carl look any different, but... Definitely, Cartman looks different. Maybe characters like Randy or people that have, hair and stuff, scruffy hair, would actually, I'd notice it more. But that's interesting. I didn't think that there'd be any difference. I remember, I have a really weird memory when I was a kid of trying to trace South Park characters from the telly. I actually took like a big piece of greaseproof paper and held it up on the screen and tried to trace them. Not because they were hard to draw, but because like perfect circles were, a challenge. Symmetrical characters were a challenge. And I just was so sick of every time I tried drawing a circle, it would end up as this kind of, lopsided thing. This kind of like, it would never quite look right. I finally just held greaseproof paper against the television as a little, I was like 10, 11. I was like 11 years old maybe when South Park got really big. So yeah, I had to trace them off the TV. Anyway, let me see. I may have missed some stuff in the super chats. Hello. Let me see. Tamagotchi. Hey, Tamagotchi. Good to see you, Tamagotchi. Animoid TV. Animoid sounds like it would be a kids television show in like 2001 with really bad CGI. Animoids. They're back. Have you ever watched the movie Tommy from the Who album? I've never seen the film. I know the song Pinball Wizard, but I've never seen the film. I heard the film was kind of bad. Rusty Brusher says, "Ha! I used to try and trace Simpsons on the TV." Yeah, I don't remember trying to trace anybody other than South Park characters, but I definitely watched enough Dexter's Lab that I was able to draw Dexter pretty much from memory. I still think I can basically do him. I could do him. It's kind of like, actually, it's a little not so easy now, but it's that kind of thing. There's little boots and the buttons, that kind of thing. Anyway, that's all wrong, but yeah, some stuff from Dexter is kind of burned into my head because I used to try and draw him while the TV was kind of playing. All right, so we're gonna have Killgar here looking proudly, and I'm spitting all over my Cintiq, but you can't tell. Is he happy about this pig? I don't know. I need to figure out the face. And he's gonna be holding it aloft. All right, just a smile. Kind of a sweet smile. And I'm gonna have to draw his stupid headdress again. This is not a very good looking drawing at all. This is probably the worst one I've done today. Yeah, he's so skewed. Can we just sort of... not really. I think it's the eye. Can I just move the eye up a little bit? Just get that eye up there. Oh, it's messing with the stuff on the layer below. I hate it when it does that. Because I've not locked me layers. Okie dokes. Okay, so we're gonna draw that big old shoulder pad there, and the fluffy ruffs, and I'm gonna see what is happening in the land of Chatovia. Mr. Matamation says, have you ever seen the storyboard art for South Park? It's shockingly dynamic for being South Park. Yeah, I have seen it. I think probably the reason that is that the people drawing, it takes more effort to rigidly draw those characters and get them all, like to have to constantly think about the sort of rigors of what the characters can and can't do. If I was boarding, I would just want to draw it quickly, and they do board them really quickly. The whole show is made quickly. I think it's probably easier for the animators to just really quickly draw what they want to draw, and then something about that will probably infer or can imply stuff for the animator. So even if maybe, say, you know, Cartman, for example, can't do an ab crunch. You know, he can't lean forward and sort of bend his belly or whatever, like, you know, sort of dig into his belly with his chest. There might be a case where they could make the rig do something just briefly for one moment, or they might be able to do something with the hands kind of flopping forward that mimics the ab sort of crunching up, or maybe the head dips or something. I think a lot of it is a case of it doesn't have to actually be totally the same as the animatics. It's just a case of what's easy for the board artist to do, what tells the story, and then what maybe can influence the animation in subtle ways later on that could be sort of reinterpreted with the actual rigs. Okay, so we're gonna have his fingers, have that little pinky kick out. I love the pinky kicking out. Never ever let it be said that I won't kick out a pinky, because how much better is it? You can have the fingers all like that. That's fine. That maybe is in fact better. But me, I like a pinky to kick out. In fact, that's kicking out too much. That's obscene. That is acceptable amounts of pinky kick. A pinky kicking out is okay by me. That's what I said. Those were my wedding vows. So let's stick that big old manly chest. There we go. That's a nice looking chest. A lot like mine, actually. A lot like mine. Just using myself for reference here. The back doesn't look good at all. I remember somebody pointing out once that I don't draw his abs. They go, why doesn't he have visible abs, you know, with all of that sort of stuff? And I don't know, I don't think it looks very good. It's more detail that I don't want to have to draw. And I don't know, he's not supposed to be the most ripped person in the universe. He's just supposed to be the most ripped person in, say, the next supercluster or two. Just the next galaxy or two. He's not supposed to be absolutely shredded to shit. Okie dokes. So we're going to actually invert the cape here, which I like to do. It's a good idea in animation to take a form. Let's say, for example, you've got a character who's standing like this, and his arm is doing that. Okay, you've kind of got it going in that way, and then in that way there. And then in the next pose, if he sort of, maybe he leans back, so you're sort of inverting his pose. And this way, you could have the head doing, you could have the arm doing that. And you sort of taken from, I'm drawing very poorly. This is turning into some weird kanji lettering from a parallel dimension. You've sort of gone from bending, oops, like you're taking a bend in and a bend out and turning it into a bend out and a bend in. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go back to trying to draw my cleanup here. Sorry about that, everyone. I was trying to explain a concept. I can't seem to get the lasso tool here. And I failed. But basically, to invert things. See the way the cape is bulging, it's doing like a big S curve there. We could just maintain that S curve, but that's a little bit boring. It's better to just have it sort of taking, you know, rather from going from that to that, we want to have it sort of take a different form. I'm explaining it very poorly. Sorry. Let me read the chat. Let me let you people embarrass yourselves rather than I embarrass myself. Stovepipe, hey Stovepipe says, it just struck me that Killgar reminds me of Gundar, especially in mannerisms. I think they'd hit it off. Yes, I won't say that Gundar was any kind of inspiration, but I'm aware of the character. I think I saw the first initial cartoon on Newgrounds before I knew it was a series, and it made me laugh. Animoy TV says, okay, not a fan of Tommy. What about the Giant's Dream? I've never seen that. You're hitting me with some obscure stuff. Never heard of the Giant's Dream. And I didn't say that I'm not a fan of Tommy. I've never seen it, so. By the way, there is a sad fact that on these streams, anything that somebody asks me if I've seen, I usually have not seen. All right, it's nothing personal. It's just that I don't get around to watching a whole lot of stuff. I don't think, anyway. Alright, so we're going to try drawing a pig here. I think I said it would be a spider pig. Or half spider or something. Let me see what pig legs look like. Alrighty. It's got a tail like that at the back. Alright. That works for me. And okay, so I don't know how it's a spider yet. That is going to be figured out in a moment, guys. I just wanted to try drawing a pig. Honestly, I just got excited at the prospect of drawing a pig. I like drawing pigs. Got a thing for pigs. Not in a, you know, furry fursuit convention manner. I like pigs. I don't know why. I find them funny. I like alligators too. Alright, so his hand... kind of having to compromise the hand a little bit there. Sorry, it sort of goes through the lines a bit, and I've not drawn the knuckles and the armor and stuff in, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Okay, so let's see what we have. This was supposed to be an animation stream, but it's turned into very much kind of an animatic or sort of key poses or something like that we're drawing. So, all right. So he thinks. Excuse me. Aha! And he pulls out a pig. Now, Samaram asked me to make it a spider pig. Sam, do you have any other requests? Because I don't really know how I could turn this into a spider. Sam, I may have messed this up. I just wanted to draw a pig. I ran away with the pig thing. Yeah, Owl Balcony says eat the pig. Yeah, I think a few people are going to go say eat the pig. Michael Graham says make the back segment. Give it a thorax, give him a third eye. Harry Ashfield retracted his message. I'll never know what he wanted. Sam Ramos says I'll make a design for you, Harry. Oh no! No, I can't open the Discord now. I'm on the stream. Sam, please. Oh, whatever. We'll try and do something. We'll try and do something. Well, if I can open the thing. I'm sure I can open up the link, Sam. So, if let me know if I have permission to share the drawing on the live stream, because then people can see what you've sent me. All right. Let's do that like that. All right. Okay, so let me see. Can we do any in-betweens while Sam's working on his design? I know. Maybe we could try some in-betweens, but sadly, folks, it's not gonna... I'll tell you what, I'll give you a tip. I'll give you a tip on how to draw some overshoots, okay? If you're running out of time and you need an overshoot, my advice is you just get the frame that you want. You could just do this. This is what the Storytime animators do. Not all of them, of course. They're not completely monocultural. They are different people unto themselves. But they'll sort of grab a frame and just sort of stretch it. And they'll go, look, that's an overshoot. Yeah. And then I thought, what about that awkward day at school when I was bullied? So yeah, they sort of grab a frame and stretch it. But that works. It does work. Obviously we're going outside the canvas here, which I don't really want to do, but my advice is you just take a few little parts and you kind of tweak them to be where they would naturally be in the overshoot. So can you sort of like move the hand forward a bit there? Maybe we could take his arm here and sort of jam it forward as well, and you get that kind of, see, that's starting to look more like an overshoot. What I would do is I'd make it almost invisible so I can draw over it, and then I would draw over it. So that's what I'm going to do. Sam, when I'm done with this, I'll keep checking in with you. Oh wait, Sam said he can have 8 of everything. Sam, I'm not going to animate 8 legs. People that are saying animate 8 legs and 8 eyes, please, please have some mercy, okay? I can't animate 8 of anything. I could barely animate 8 fingers. All right, so let's see now. So yeah, let's overshoot this Killgar and get him to look a little bit slicker. So what I'm gonna just do is trace this bad boy and just make sure it's having all the stuff that could drag, have it drag. So the hand is going to drag back a bit because he's pulling it from all the way down there. In fact, actually, you might have it go the opposite way. There is that too. So that doesn't look anywhere near as good, and I did a poor job drawing it. But the hand is dragging now from where it was. And we're going to try to get that in there. Okay. All the fur is going to be delayed. Gonna overshoot the cape slightly. Like that. And make sure this fur overshoots. Alright folks, I'll be with you in just a moment. It's a case of trying to do this as quickly as humanly possible to unfortunately it would be easier for me to just copy and paste the legs. But you want to be careful in digital, kind of hand-drawn digital animation. The more you copy and paste, the more it doesn't so much look like it's been redrawn. It just looks, I don't know, it has a sort of sterile vibe sets in that makes it look a little bit more like it's been tweened. Not that there's anything wrong with tweening, but if that's a look that you're trying to avoid, you probably don't want to copy and paste too much. So we're going to try and just overshoot his whole face here. Drag the sort of cheeks, maybe. Yeah, this is the soy-faced Killgar of my dreams. All right. And then you have the... Oh, this is really, really rushing this now. And then we're going to have the hair drag down just so we can get it in the canvas, and it makes sense too. It would be all like that. The finger too, drag that. Oh boy, alright, how fast can Harry go? Okay. Oh, you get the idea, guys. I'm really just doing absolute crap here, but... And then hopefully that will give you the feeling of an overshoot. Ah! 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 So, what you probably want to go ahead and do if you really... What we could just do, we can do it very cheaply here. Oh, no, not that. Oh, no, what am I doing? Wanted smooth. Where is smooth? Shape? Smooth. Yeah. 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 Yeah, you probably want to do another one that goes a little bit low and use that as an excuse to sort of do maybe fix some overshoot on the hair. Let's have the hair settle and have the finger kind of dang, like that. Yeah. So, you know, that's what I do. But that's just copied and pasted. I thought it'd be more fun to actually have to draw every frame on this. It makes it harder, but it makes it more fun maybe. I'm going to take a moment to recuperate from that and see what you were saying in the chat. Harry Ashfield says Spider Pig had a fringe in the Simpsons movie. Maybe you could add that. I mean, yes, I would much rather do that than add 8 legs, which was suggested earlier. But I'm going to keep my eye open for any messages from Samarama. Sam, are you still sending me something on Discord? Don't worry if you're not. Oddpad Creativity said maybe Killgar could stick his hand into the pig's mouth and pull out of there a chicken wing or something. No, we could do that. I mean, it's doable. It's bizarre a little bit, but the whole thing is kind of bizarre. Tamagotchi says it doesn't have 8 legs. It's not a spider. If it doesn't have 8 legs, it's not a spider. True, but it's a lot of effort animating all of that. POUS the Moko, Paus the Moko said give the piggy fangs and 4 eyes. We could do that. Sam, if you oh, Sam sent me something. All right, guys, 2 secs. I am going to be right back. Just give me a moment. Sam, where did you send it to? I can't find it. It's not on Discord, I don't think. Where'd you send it, buddy? Tyler said he should peel the pig like a banana. That's a funny idea. I don't think I've ever animated anybody peeling a banana before. That sounds like a lot of effort. It's in user art and animation on the Discord. All right. I return back to the land of jazzy synth music. Be back in a sec. And he's back. And I'm back. Alright, let me see what Sam sent me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's the pig with disgusting claw-like arms. And are those 4 eyes and fangs? Am I seeing 4 eyes and fangs? I know it's rough. I'm not trying to get you for doing anything rough. And he's got a bigger butt. Is that supposed to be like a thorax? I don't know if we... Let's do some editorial. He says he's scared of it. You're scared? Don't be scared, man. No one's here to make fun of the art or anything. Look, I'm drawing super quickly too, so... Alright, so let me see. We gotta draw 4 eyes on the pig. Giant pig fangs. Okay, hang on. Giant piggy fangs. Looks kind of like I've drawn a mustache on him. And the hands had to be claws. Well, I guess more spider legs. So, like that. Rah. Rah. I'm gonna try and make those look more like eyes. They look a little more like he's got painted makeup on. We'll put some hairs on his back. How about that? Okay. And that's what we got. That's what we've ended up with. And it's just a bizarre creature from another planet that he's picked up. All right, folks. So I will gladly take suggestions for what happens next, but I would appreciate, or I will prioritize, excuse me, if they come through the tip link. I'm just going to use the toilet. Nature is calling, and I have brought up a very large jug of water with me, which I've downed during this stream, so that's partly why. But I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys, and I will talk to you then. All right, back in 2 secs. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. How are you? Let me just have a little bit more of this drink. Dylan says, "Hey Harry, can you create a squirrel named Harry Squirrel?" I mean, I've got enough on my plate. Do you mean today on the stream? Could draw a nasty looking squirrel on the stream if you wanted, and just put a sign next to it that says Harry. I don't know if that's in keeping with what you want. Tamagotchi says, "Have Killgar draw his sword and stab the spider pig, and then have him roast it on an open fire." That's a lot. That's a lot of ideas. Jacob says, "That's a cool alien pig." It's all right. Thank you, Sam Ram. I'm glad you're okay with it. I'm glad you're not too disappointed. Rusty Brusher says, "I think he should smoosh the pig's face to look like Hogstrong." That's okay, Russia. We could do that. We could have him punch it, and it turns into Hogstrong. Brumley says, "What exactly is going on in the cartoon?" Brumley, you gotta ask the others for that. All right, they're driving me. They're inspiring me on this cartoon. Okay, all we know so far is Killgar thinks he has an idea. He reaches down. He pulls up some sort of grotesque spider pig alien thing. And currently, the plan is that it might turn into Hogstrong, which is it's not much of an idea. I mean, I'm not offending you. Sorry. Who said that? Rusty Brusher. I'm not trying to cause offense, but it's an odd thing to happen. Let's face it. Keith Rousel says, "Something that averts our expectations would be funny. So that wouldn't we expect Killgar to do with the food?" I don't know. Like, I guess wear is a hat. We go back to that. I'm gonna see if there's any way that we can get some more ideas from you guys, because some of these are not inspiring me. We're gonna try to do some in-betweens here to smooth things out a bit. And I'll really just try to... Let me see, how would we very, very quickly just get sort of just try to sort of imply the end of this action. And okay, that's good. That's good. Let me move the arm back down here. Just adding an in between here, guys, to try to fix this. A lot of trace and place when you're really rushed for time on animation. Trace and place, excuse me, is a term that I heard from the Disney animator Raul Aguirre Jr., who I did a podcast with years ago, I think. And he told me that in Disney they would always just, if they needed to save time, whatever, you've drawn a good head, no need to draw the good head from scratch again. You can just trace the one you've got and make a few changes, like place it in a new location, and then you've basically got your drawing. So it's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Just going to do a little bit of quick, crappy trace in place on Killgar. So let's just grab him here, and we'll rotate him a little bit, and that'll kind of be maybe like that. And now let's actually bring up the what do you call it? The onion skin. It's such a headache to look at the onion skin like that, but this is... Drawing with the onion skin on is really tough. Oh man. Gives you a headache just looking at it. just a very, very quickly drawn hand. Let's just move it over there. And a bit of the fur on the collar and the spike. Alright, and then probably what you'd want to do is, if you're going to have Killgar actually rooting around on the floor looking for something, you probably want to have a couple of frames of just, you know, the arm moving back and forth, this arm here, kind of just, we could do that very cheaply, I guess. Just copy and paste and have the arm do this. It's almost like he's rummaging through junk. Okay.
Ah! Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You get the idea. Alrighty. Nelvor said Killgar pulls the entire body out of the pig. What? In one fell swoop, leaving the skin? That's very violent, Nelvor. Michael Damiani said he squeezes it and makes web come out. Brumley says Killgar turns into Homer Simpson. Actually, that's sounding pretty good. We could turn him into Homer. Samarama said he accidentally picks up Hogstrong. Keith says, could he rinse the pig out like a rag above his head and drink the fluids? What's with all the violent suggestions? These are really nasty. Starbarians is a family-friendly cartoon. Alright, folks. Let's get rid of the violence. Joel Mayer says it's a really cute Killgar, actually. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Joel. I didn't like this drawing originally, but it's grown on me now.
Yeah.
Alright. Tell you what, we're gonna try to actually, I'm going to try to create an overshoot on this frame here, but what we're going to do is, because it's just a lot of line work, I'm going to copy and paste the pig. Oh, excuse me, guys, I've got the hiccups here. So I'm going to really just overshoot Killgar, make him look really crazy. Really push that stupid face. Have this arm kind of swinging in, like inwards a little bit. Really push that chest up high. Always tough to do the hair kind of in motion. Alright, so if we move him up like there, and then probably rotate this whole form out just a little bit more, like, oh no, that's not what we want. Uh-oh, why is it he moves there? Bothers me, hang on, that he moves. There we go. Okay, and we'll just, I tell you what, we're going to borrow this arm here. I hate it to do it. There's something about it. I always feel like I'm using kind of a shorthand or a cheat when I copy and paste body parts, but It just cannot be helped. Sometimes you got to do it. Hey, Novel, with the tip link super chat there on the Streamlabs link. Thank you very much, Novel. I will read that in just a second. Let me just finish with this arm here. Novel says, oh, I just read the message. Novel, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, man. I'm sorry. Maybe you should, no, maybe I'll leave it to you if you want to explain to people in the chat, okay? If not, I'll say no more. You fuck. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. I can't say anything, unfortunately. I will say no more. It's nothing. Novel didn't do anything wrong, okay? Oh, look at these high quality legs I've drawn here. Boy, Harry, did you go to art school to draw legs as good as those? Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna just make this is okay. This is one more trick I'm gonna teach you here, folks, on Harry's cheating school. We should just call this stream Harry's cheating school. We talk about all the cheats. All right. So let's say we got Killgar here holding the pig, but from here to here is not a very good settle. You want more than that. You want to have some bounce, some overlap. But let's say you're pushed for time, because we all are. We're all running out of time. So probably what you want to do is grab the frame here that is close to what you want to keep, and if you can, if there's any way, like in Adobe Animate, you use the smooth tool, which basically just compromises the amount of detail a little bit, so you get a bit of wobble there. You can just see, we zoom in, very subtle bit of wobble, but it doesn't really count for much. Other trick is you would want to just move it slightly, so we're going to create a slight overshoot here on the whole body and just kind of have it. Oh, that's too much. Just do it with the rotate tool, just something like that. Okay, dun, dun. Bang, bang, bang. What you could do is you could sort of squash it maybe a tiny bit too, fatten it out, but it's going to be very hard to make it look like you haven't just done that. So, and then the next thing is, so we're gonna get some of the limbs and body parts that would be realistically moving. We're gonna have this overshoot here and arrive a little bit beyond its final resting point, so like that. And then the other stuff that you want to change is all of the floppy parts of the character. So it's cape, the fur, the hair, all the stuff that would not realistically stop moving. It's because it sort of overlaps, it drags, it has lots of secondary action. So this is stuff that you definitely want to delete. We'll delete that now. And then yes, you probably could do a little bit more, like maybe this arm here you'd want to play with, because that sort of, it's not quite secondary action on the hand, but you feel the hand is sort of motivated by the elbow joint, so you probably want to play with it, but it's gonna look really scruffy. And now we go in and just sort of play with stuff a little bit. So the cape is billowing up here, and then it ends there. So what I'm going to do with the cape is overshoot the cape a little bit. I'll have the cape overshoot inwards like that, maybe for here. Have the hair kind of overshoot there, and there, like that, and that for the fur, and this fur over here we'll play with a little bit too. And then because you've only sort of updated those parts, it doesn't quite look like a new drawing, but it gives you enough. It gives you just a little sense of bring. Probably shouldn't be animated on 3s. Maybe put it to a 2. And then to tell you what, another trick actually is what you could do. Let's put it on a 3. Is then if you create a new manual tween, if you actually go in and grab, and it will take a long time because of how tight those drawings would have to be. But if you could go in and sort of, you know, manually create another in between there, between those two, you'd get something that felt quite natural, because you'd sort of introduce another boiled frame, a frame that had lots of sort of inbuilt wobble and slight sort of off-model-ness to it, and you'd get something that felt quite natural without having to draw a full frame from scratch. That's a good little tip, a good little cheat, but it's not really going to help us today because we're just trying to make something fun and snappy. And yeah, so I received Super Chat very generously, but it didn't give me any prompts, so I still don't quite have an idea how we're going to end this today, and I think we should end it. I did say we'd maybe have Hogstrong in the shot. Earlier, I forget, I think we've got a donation, and I promised that we'd get Hogstrong's reaction, which I'll still try and do. In fact, I can draw that now, and then maybe we can come back to it. Thank you, Samarama. Samarama has to go, but I appreciate you coming by today, Sam, giving us ideas, giving us support. Hello, Matthias Brandon. I haven't said hello to you yet. And who else have I not said hello to? Anyone in the chat? I think it's good. I think we're all good. Oh, Chewy Wolf. Hey, Chewy Wolf. Alright, so let's have Hogstrong looking unimpressed. Alright. Anolful says idea, he just hugs the pig, and then Hogstrong shows up shocked at the affection. Okay, we've got it. We've got the Hogstrong reaction. It's put back in the cartoon, and we have a final action for Killgar to do. Okay, so first of all, I'm still going to animate Hogstrong first, because we're just going to do something very, very simple. We're just going to have a reaction, okay? So let me see. It's basically going to look like this. Like squinting. Hang on, no. We need more of a kind of angry, like... Okay. Alright, this will come together, folks. Sorry, this is how I sketch. I sketch like a madman, and try and figure things out with really broad shapes. It's just like, what? Alright. Hopefully we don't lose anything now from that design. Let me have a little sip of my drink, and we'll try and go and clean up Hogstrong, okay? So let's just make it nice and easy for me to clean up. Let's go with a slightly thicker brush, just something like, I don't know, like a 7 or an 8. Let's go with an 8, not an 87. Dag nabbit, go with an 8. Killgar has more fingers than Hogstrong. Hogstrong has 3 and a thumb. So I gotta remember that. And he still has the knuckle armor, which is always annoying to draw that. Oh boy. Something like that. Get that shoulder up there. Sort of a shrug. And he's got his sort of hair here that I feel like is kind of interrupts him a little bit. I don't want the hand to look like it's clashing with the hair, so I'm going to sort of hide the hair a little bit. Tend not to, when you're just sort of doing line drawings and drawing kind of cartoony characters, you tend not to want lines to sort of clash too much. There's a word for it, they call it tangents, you know. So, you know, if we had the back of Hogstrong's head come to the side of his ear there, it kind of creates, I don't know, it creates a sense of the ear and the hair being on the same plane, which sort of breaks the three-dimensionality a little bit of the characters. When you're drawing in 2D, you really don't want the characters to look even more two-dimensional unless that's deliberate. Usually you're fighting to give them some kind of form or shape. Let me just figure out the back of his head here. We've got the fur there on the shoulder. Hey, Slashbolt. Slashbolt, I don't think I've said hello to you yet. Slashbolt is the way Harry can whip out hands and fingers with minimal sketching. Ah, come on! They ain't that good. Okay, and then we're gonna have... I want all the fingers to kind of go to a point. Like, come on, what are you doing? What is this? What is this? You got all these bagels? What are you doing there? I like that. I like the New York Hogstrong. Hey, I'm walking here. What are you doing there, Killgar? Hang on, we're gonna fix this freaking eye. All right. Alrighty. Okay, I'll just put the hair. I want to like not interrupt the face too much with the hair. So I think that's good enough. So something like that. Wow, it's kind of like a meme face. A new meme in the making. Alright, there we go. There we go. There he is. Hogstrong going, "What are you doing here? What's going on with that?" I think that's pretty good. Alright. Okay. Alright, so that's fine. That's fine. This is our Hogstrong reaction. Nice, I drew one tiny line on the wrong layer. That's cool. Alright, and we'll keep that for... We'll keep that to slide in against against whatever Killgar does. So give me a second here to figure this out. So he's gonna go He's gonna go from here to the badi. It's gonna ease in nice like that. All right, nice like that. Could maybe make it like that. All right, so he comes in. What are you doing here with the pig? Okay, all right, so that's going to be the end of the cartoon. We're working backwards. It's like great fiction writing. You work out the ending first, and then you work out the rest of it. All right, it's going to be. Special Fish Simon's just joined us. He said that's the perfect Hogstrong face. Thank you. Yeah, we've ended the cartoon, and now we're gonna work back. And I think it was Novel. He gave the excellent idea to have Killgar hug the hideous spider pig. Thank you to Novel, who also sent a donation earlier through the tip link. Really appreciate that. So we're gonna have Hogstrong lovingly hug the pig. That's gonna be the end of the cartoon or the end of the stream. But first of all, we've got to find a way to draw that sucker. Okay. So let me. What was I actually drawing out earlier? Was it like a 5 maybe? 5? Does that look right? Yeah, it looks fine. Excuse me for the gas. Alright, folks, I'm just going to take a look at the chat, see if there's anything I've missed, and have a swig of my drink. Hello, Animated Taco! You Chad, thank you for being here. I say it's a cartoon from scratch, but technically the only actual bit of semi-acceptable animation I already had finished before the stream started, which is this, and the rest is... Duh. That's all we've got, and we've got Hogstrong at the end, confused. So we're gonna animate a hug, okay? But it's animated on 5s and 6s. I don't actually know how long I've been streaming for. I guess about an hour or 40 coming up for. So yeah, not quite from scratch. There's gonna be no backgrounds, no color, nothing like that. But let's have a hug of love.
I loves me little pig. I do. I loves him with all me heart.
Okay, so that sort of gets the impression across, I feel, but... And then what do we do with the body? What? Okay. Hey. Let's kick this leg out that way. Hey. Ooh. I don't know what the legs would be doing there. I'll try with this excuse for a thumbnail drawing. It's just a mad squiggle. If I can get the legs working, I'll give it a shot. Let me see. I need another layer. What are y'all saying? Hey Harry, do you voice Hogstrong? Asks Dylan. Oh, not today, I don't. Yeah, usually it's me. It's just me attempting another American accent with embarrassing results. It's just... Killgar, what are you doing hugging another pig? I'm over here. Why are you ignoring me? That kind of thing.
Because I found a special piggy with spider bits coming off of him. He's much better than you.
What the fuck? What? And that everyone is how cartoons are made. Okay. Oh, actually, let's not start with the face. Come on, let's start with like the ears. Oh, hang on. Yeah, this stream's been drying out my voice. Squish them eyes together. I'm just gonna have to hide that top of the ear and just figure out the eyes. Thank you, maid. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. The squeaky American accent suits him. Thanks, Slashbolt. yeah, it's it's just growing up watching them cartoons. I liked American cartoons. All the English cartoons were fucking lame. And I wanted to be in an American cartoon and make American cartoons. My wife and I joke that I am DNA American. My blood type is USA. Isn't that actually, didn't Trump say that? My blood type is USA. Better blood than anyone else. I can't fucking do a Trump. But we did put that joke in Ghostbleed. You see briefly Rick's slightest DNA type is I think it's USA positive or something like that. Oh, the nose is like clashing with the eyes. The challenge of trying to draw characters, like making characters on model, but also giving them crazy expressions and the stuff that you want them to have, is there's no easy answer to it, man. It's just every case is different. That's where I feel like I think CGI animation is awesome, and I would like to do more of it. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, it's killed 2D. It's an art form. It's an art form. It's not doing anything by itself. It's people that make those choices. But I feel like I'd struggle a little bit just with rigs, you know, and I know there's some great rigs out there for 3D animation, but if I couldn't get the face to break in a certain way, if I couldn't get the anatomy to sort of morph and mush in a way that I found pleasing for a certain pose, I think I'd struggle with that. And I think that's one of the great strengths that 2D still has. Excuse me, if there's a helicopter going over, it's really loud. I don't know if you can hear that. Or a plane or something, or an A-bomb or something. But yeah, if I can't have characters mush and mash and stretch in the way that I want them to, I feel like I would get mad at the rig, and that would be the end of me 3D animating. But I should do some more 3D animation. I mean, I didn't 3D animate Ghostbleed. That was motion capture work done by Hulapy, but I loved it. I loved the whole process. Just being able to move the camera whenever we wanted was really nice. You know, to be able to say, okay, that looks good, but can we try from this angle and that kind of thing. And there's something about that which is so liberating. You don't have that in 2D at all, or hand-drawn. Oh boy, so this is the sort of thing where colors would be really important, because it's starting to just look like a big mash of line art, which it is. But if, you know, if the pig was blue or whatever, and Killgar is Killgar color, you'd get a much better sense of what's going on. Yeah, this is not a very well drawn hug, but we're nearly at the end. I think I'm starting to lose a little bit of steam here, folks. So we'll try and get him over the line. Oh, you know what? You put the legs together when someone... I knew I'd come back to the legs and feel about it differently. It's the J-pop thing. You put the legs together like that. All right. And you have the big pig legs coming out. Pig has to look slightly in pain for it to be funny. Okay, so that's going to be the hug. That's a rough looking drawing. Let me see how it looks like flipped, because that's some stinky drawing there, Harry. Let me just figure out this bit of detail here on this leg, so you kind of get the idea. The idea basically that his knees are kind of buckled and stuck together. Do I feel like that gets the impression across? It could be a little bit skewed, maybe. I tend to do that. Whatever, I feel like we can just get away with it. We just tidy up the bottom here, because it's kind of weird that it doesn't. His nose is still too big. What are you saying in the chat, everyone? Let me see. Hello, Maid. Maid says using 3D rigs takes a lot of technical knowledge to push harder and exaggerate. Yeah, I bet it does. King N64 said, agreed. Both have their ups and downs. Animated Taco says, you ever thought about attempting a hybrid process, boarding in 3D but finishing in 2D? No, I haven't. I haven't thought about that, although I might enjoy it, honestly. There have to be easy ways of getting poses in 3D these days. I know there's some sort of toy kind of figure that you can pose to get your poses. I might enjoy using that, honestly, to get key poses, and they'd probably be good enough for like a boarding session. That might be fun. So, alright, so I'm going to turn this last pose just so we get a little bit of sort of, I don't know, life in it. I'm going to try to do something with it where it sort of loops a little bit. So let's have this side of Killgar kind of jeez. Just kind of slightly leaning in to the spider pig. Do I want to do this? I'm thinking about it. Hang on. The idea that is that this side now comes forward a little bit. Basically, I'm just wondering if we can get a little kind of jitter on the hug. But to do that in a way that doesn't look completely cheap and shitty, I'll have to sort of manually animate all the body parts a little bit. And that's a little bit too much movement, so maybe just...
Piggy, I love you.
Maybe we could have the legs. It's really the legs that would splay out. I know this is cheap. We shouldn't be doing the heart, but I tell you what, the one thing I'll do too is I'll just rework the brow here for one of the frames, so it's like he's Maybe the smile too could come up. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to very, very cheesily and tastelessly get the hug to begin. So I'm like, okay, we can kind of get away with some of this drawing here, although I think it should be more. We're gonna have to rework a few elements, but this is a little reuse of an earlier drawing to get a little bit of the overshoot. Really, you'd want the kind of spider's legs and stuff dangling around, but that sounds like animation work to me. I think that's got to get cut. The budget, let me see. Let me look at the super chats today have come to. I think something in the vicinity of about $28. So the budget of $28 for this animated motion picture is not going to allow any more thoughtful drawing, I feel. This is fun though. It's fun to make an extremely low quality, low budget short, and then at the end of the session you add up the super chats through the tip link and you go, that's what the budget got us. This is a $28 animated film. Special Fish Simon says, I can't blame Killgar. I love that pig too. That's sweet. Maid says, this is smart and efficient. Your animator brain is strong. I would have been already sketching out an entirely new pose. Oh, I don't know if it's the animator brain. It's the desperate artist brain where I'm just looking for any angle I can squeeze. But I appreciate it, Maid. That's very nice of you to say that. I take pride in it. Animated Taco says, have you thought... Oh, sorry, man. I'm rereading your thing from earlier. All right, folks. Yeah, it would be nice. I'll tell you what, I think we can get a little bit of piggy overlap. Let's do some piggy overlap. Because there's a song by the Kinks. I think it's the Kinks. My Autumn Almanac. Yes, 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 it's my Autumn Almanac. And I always wanted to sing then. Yes, 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 it's my piggy overlap. And the reason it's been on my mind is because I watched a movie yesterday. See, I do watch some movies, but they have to be wife approved. And it had the Baywatch actress Erika Eleniak in it, who is, I think, a very attractive actress. And I kept wanting to sing, and yes, 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 it's Erika Eleniak. But my wife is not a fan of old 1960s British music, so she wouldn't have She wouldn't have understood what the frick I was talking about. So yeah, we'll get this piggy overlap going. It's just a subtle little bit of piggy overlap on the piggy feet and the piggy spider arms. All right, okie dokes. There you go. Oh, nah, fuck off, Adobe. Haha, I gotta pay for my subscription. It keeps prompting me. I'll pay when I'm good and ready, Mr. Adobe. Johnny Adobe, whatever your name is. Alright, so let's add a smear frame. You guys haven't had a smear on today's stream, and I feel like, given how time is against us and we want to get this sucker done, I think a smear could be fun. Alright, so we'll just... Honestly, it's not a huge smear, because they're kind of... Given that this is mostly animated on like 4s and 5s, we'll put it on a 2 and it'll feel like a smear. Like that. There you go. It's gonna feel like a smear. And we're gonna figure out now where those details will go. Let me just have another swig of my drink. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Dylan says, hey Harry, I saw the Mario movie yesterday. It's so cool. I am gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see it this week. I'm really looking forward to it. I love the character designs. I know the Mario designs, and we're all used to them by now, but I prefer the look of them than most other CGI. Like I'd rather look at, say, the Princess Peach design than the Elsa Frozen design. I think it looks good, and I think it works. Hey Axma! Axma says I've arrived in time to see a bit of the stream. Well, thank you, Axma. We have made a very, very low budget Killgar animation with almost no in-betweens and no story to speak of, but it kind of came out kind of fun, I think. So let's see now. We're gonna have this. I think this is the last frame, guys. I think this is it. Honestly, the chin should probably be doing that, but this is a smear, not like a political smear, not like a public slander campaign. This is just to get us to the final frame in a quick and easy way. And we're going to draw that nose in there. Usually smears can get away with a lot less detail. I don't know why I'm putting in quite so much, but it's just occurred to me Killgar's hand goes from under the pig to kind of on top of the pig, which isn't great, but whatever, who cares, right? Just sort of have the arms kind of hide the transition. Suddenly Killgar's hands on the pig's back, but alright folks, yeah, this one ain't gonna win any prizes. This is the worst drawing of the stream, but you know, it's a smear. So whatever, it's just a big area of color to whoosh,
Whoosh. Piggy, I love you.
Smack. And then we can have him disappear. And let's make sure it's all synced up. Turn off Hogstrong for the second. And he's going to be over there. Okie doke. And we want to copy now Hogstrong's ease that we animated earlier. On his motion tween, put that there. And this should be, folks, this should be 140. This should be the end of the cartoon. Let me just delete the layer below. Alright, let's see the great premiere of our great cartoon. Only cost $28 in Super Chats. Let's take a look.
Ha! Yee! Me!
What? That's it. That's it. That's it. Can we time it any differently? Yeah, we can time it. Okay, alright. So I'm going to have a few little changes, folks. A few little changes. We're going to have... Going to add a little pause after...
Da!
You got to have a longer after this, because it creates the anticipation of what conclusion has he come to?
Da!
maybe that could be a little shorter. Maybe a little longer on here. All right. Okay, there we go. That is the cartoon. One more time. One more time. One more time for the money. Let's play it out.
Ah! Boink, boink.
Yo! There we go. We did a low quality Killgar animation, mostly from scratch. Mostly not really an animation. Mostly not even low quality, just non-existent quality. No color, no in-betweens. But goes to show you that with $28 in super chats and 2 hours, you can knock out a little something. Trust me, the returns diminish quickly when you start trying to go in and color every single frame and add shading and add in-betweens. What can be a short little fun thing that should only, you know, take a day or a couple of days can take months, and it's a problem I run into a lot. So I'm going to try and learn something from this and try and maybe get away with a little bit less and just keep things fun and breezy, because I think that people seem to enjoy the end result. So I certainly do, and I feel good about it. So thank you to everybody that came by today. It really is enjoyable to have done this with you and have an audience. So I'm very much in debt to everybody who came by, especially our super chatters, but anybody who just came by and viewed. And I know a lot of you are Patreon supporters, and thank you for supporting me there too, and keeping me going, keeping me working on the comic this month and other things as well. So Kimmy Omega, Special Fish, Simon, Friendly Monster, Doni Arts, Bogdan Carbunesu, Cherry Bomber, Tyler Camus, Gregor Scott, Harry Ashfield, Beanlight Games, Noel Vol, Davi88, Axma, Animated Taco, Brumley, King N64, Zach Dozier, Special Fish Simon, I said you already, Owl Balcony, Maid, Davi88, I said you already, Matthias Brandon, thank you everyone, Finn as well. Hey, so there's a bunch of people, I'm sure, Corey Halverson, I don't want to forget you, and Dylan as well. I'm trying to get everybody, Animoid TV, try and read out your names, give you a shout out. Thank you for being here, thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your name. It's incompetence, laziness, running out of time, running out of steam. Draco Dragonis. Alright everyone, you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and I'm sure you'll probably hear from me again soon. You too, Aya, you take care, man. Crazy fast, he says. Well, I'm going to be out of here crazy fast. Take care, Rob L. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, have a great one, everyone. You take care now. Goodbye.